Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today for Venture Houston 2023, hosted by HX Venture Fund.
Tell the conversation's still ready to go. I am going to probably murder your last name, but I'm going to try hard. I am delighted to introduce to you Christina K, I'm going to say. Christina K, who, as you guys know, has spent many years here in Houston when she was Schlumberger. So delighted that she's back to visit us here from Breakthrough Energy alongside Carmichael. In fact, she'll be back in a couple weeks to keynote for the Rice Alliance Energy Day. So we hope you will come back again in a couple weeks and hear more from Christina. But without further ado, I'll let her introduce the panel. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Hi, everyone. It always feels like coming back to family when I come to Houston. So many familiar faces. So that's why I'm coming back twice in September. Christina Garabadaki, I'm one of the partners at Breakthrough Energy Ventures. I'm sure you all heard from Carmichael Roberts this morning. We're a climate-focused fund. We've been active since 2017, 110 portfolio companies, and we're very passionate about working with the entire energy ecosystem and bringing partners into the space. I'm very glad to introduce what promises to be a very fun and lively panel today. First up, Rick Campo. He's the chairman and CEO of Camden Property Trust, a $15 billion Houston-based multifamily property owner who runs more than 170 properties across the U.S., and also chairman of the Port of Houston. And he founded Camden, so he has firsthand experience of the journey of being a founder and entrepreneur, knows that all too well. Next up, Sophie Purdom. Sophie is the founder and responsible for the top blog in climate in terms of getting data insights and data-driven research for the climate space. I'm one of the 50,000 avid readers of it. And I always read it when it lands in my inbox. And she's also the founder and managing partner for Planeteer Capital. And last but not least, Cody Sims. I'm not going to step back. Yeah, so that's not a good plan. Who's the co-host of MCJ Collective, who gives a big, loud voice to all the founders and entrepreneurs in the space to be able to tell their stories and attract capital and attract customers, and also a general partner at MCJ Collective. So with that, I'll turn it over to you.
Great. Thanks, Christina. Well, all right. So we're in between you all and lunch, and, you know, please eat while we go, right? This is a collaborative thing. Again, I'm Cody Sims, the co-host of the My Climate Journey podcast, and also with MCJ Collective, and excited to have a conversation with Sophie and Rick. And I think also on the back page of your handouts or your programs, there's a QR code where you can subscribe to CTVC, which is Sophie's newsletter, or you can subscribe to the My Climate Journey podcast. So once your forks are out of your hands, definitely do so if you wouldn't mind. Why don't each of you, Sophie and Rick, just briefly give a little more background on what it is you're working on today?
How about this?
There, Rick, go for it.
Oh, maybe it's just me. Oh, no, that works, yeah? All right, let's go for it. Thank you. I'm Sophie. This is so fun to be here, and such fun to have met tons of folks yesterday during the founder pitches, which were incredibly impressive, by the way. It's hard to portray so much information in 10 minutes, and we got to do that times, what, 16 or so? You guys pack it in here in Houston. I love it. I joke I kind of pay rent up in New York City, but I love to hop around the country and spend time in the labs with climate founders and have the privilege of being able to share some of those stories, at least on written paper. You guys do it kind of verbally a little bit here, through CTVC, which has been a group effort for many years at this point, telling the story of this transition, if you will, from Clean Tech 1.0 through to this broader, we call it energy transition down here, right? To climate tech. So this decarbonization, but kind of more than that, this transition towards more efficient, kind of more resilient climate adjusted economy. So write about it and then put on the privilege of the investor hat, which is frankly kind of a new one for me, in Planeteer Capital, which is a $75 million pre-seed and seed. So we're first check in across the climate space, and learned some of those good and tough lessons myself, raising a bunch of capital and starting some of those businesses before in the deep tech space. So more than enough about me, but hopefully we can keep this fun, candid, energizing. We can hear those forks continuing to click and keep everyone fed. All right.
Just no salad being thrown, right?
Hopefully, no tomatoes.
There are no tomatoes. So I'm Rick Campo. So I have two hats here. I'm the chairman and CEO and founder, co-founder of Camden Property Trust. We have been, so I've been to the movie of, gee, I need money. How do I get money? How do we start up? And we were a classic startup in that we didn't have any funds of our own, maybe a little tiny bit, and we were funded by local Houstonians. And we just celebrated our 30th year as a public company on the New York Stock Exchange in August or in July. And so we're a classic startup.